Hello, I'm Adrian Roberts from the United Kingdom. I'm going to give today an update on COYU development. So I'll start by giving a recap on COYU and the proposed change. I'll look at the software that we have for COYU in support of it and an evaluation exercise of this software that was carried out. I'll talk about extrapolation, which is an important issue for COYU. Then I'll talk about developments in the United Kingdom, and then we'll have a look forward as to what the next steps might be. So COYU is the combined over years uniformity criterion. It's a method used for determining uniformity of candidates, mostly used in agricultural crops, but some vegetables. The essential element is that you need quantitative characteristics that are measured in single plants. You can find more information on COYU in TGP 8. So the key concepts are that you compare uniformity with similar varieties. And you can do this by, you can measure uniformity by looking at the variability of plants within plots. And that's represented by the standard deviation. We take the log of the standard deviations typically in COYU. Now, often there's a relationship between the variability and the level of expression in characters. And so we want to adjust for that to ensure that comparisons are fair. This is the main element that is changed. So we're moving from the moving average approach to the spline approach. And you can see the two types of approach on these graphs. And on the left, we have the moving average approach. These points on the graph relate to the values for reference varieties in a particular year. So you can see the variability by the log of the standard deviation against the mean, which is on the horizontal axis. The moving average does a kind of average of nearby points. So you can see it wiggling along here. The spline fits a smooth curve through the points. So why should we make a change? Well, the results, the reason dates back to 2008, and this was a technical issue found by an expert from Denmark. So the TWC looked for a way to improve COYU, and we identified splines as a way forward. And splines produce more sensible curves, but also deal with this technical issue. So we've developed software to support this new method. Firstly, in the often used package called Dust, and there's a new module in Dust, which is only available in an evaluation version at the moment, but there will be a full version released within a year. We also have an R package. R is freeware and allows people to integrate the method into their own systems more easily. And this code is freely available. There was a software campaign that started in 2021 where UPOB invited members to evaluate the software. Many members downloaded the evaluation version of Dust, and we got feedback from 4 members from the Czech Republic, Finland, Slovakia, and the United Kingdom. So many thanks to those who took part in this exercise. Feedback was generally positive, and we did identify a number of improvements, including to the reports, the formatting of reports, and the content of reports, and the graphics. Now I will talk about extrapolation. So this is a key issue that came up during the development of COYU. On this graph, you can see the values for the reference varieties. These are the X's on the plot, so these values here, and you can see the trends that we've seen before. we have a candidate here. Now, this candidate is outside of the range of reference values. So that means that if we draw a curve through these points, when we come to this, will be extrapolation to understand what's happening at the candidate. And extrapolation is going to apply to any candidate that's outside of the values that you see, the mean values that you see for the reference varieties. Why is this important? Well, first of all, we need to compare uniformity with similar varieties. So if the candidate is quite a lot quite different from the reference varieties, there is a question about what we should do. But also from a mathematical point of view, with COYU, we're using this curve, which is a calculated relationship, but we're having to extrapolate it. And extrapolation is really a speculative process. And in fact, the old and the new methods will extrapolate differently. So if we look at our reference varieties again, in this plot, you can see the two curves drawn for these. And then if we're extrapolating to the right of the reference varieties in order to consider the candidate, then you can see the red line, which is the moving average. It will give a horizontal line here. And the blue, which is the spline, will tend to follow the trend downwards. So whichever you think is better, they're certainly giving different results. And if you consider the candidate, then in one case, it's probably uniform for the moving average, whereas for the spline, then it's a long way above this line, the expected line, and so you might consider it not uniform. So in the United Kingdom, we've been considering how to deal with this, and we have some initial proposals which are under consideration. First of all, that we would have a 3-level classification for extrapolation to make decisions easier. So first of all, there would be a level where we would say there's no problem. Then there would be a level where you should review the COYU result to make sure that it seems safe. And then finally, where we have the most extrapolation, you would say that the COYU result cannot be trusted and that you should review the data using graphs supplied from the software. We are expecting to improve the graphs in the software to help the decisions. We're also looking at developing guidance for individual cases. We've worked examples. So hopefully this eventually might feed its way into the TGP 8.2 to help people. So in the United Kingdom, we are considering the implementation of the new method of COYU. The process has started, and we started by comparing the old and new methods using historical data. And we looked at various crops, including some agricultural and some vegetable species. And we looked at, and we found that there were very few differences in decisions, and these occurred when decisions were marginal. So we were near the criterion for uniformity. But the exercise really did highlight the importance of extrapolation. And there were a lot of cases, for example, in perennial ryegrass. So this is a key issue. So the United Kingdom has a working party on extrapolation, and yeah, we're considering what to do there. Once that issue is dealt with, we'll consider the way forward for formal implementation. So looking forward, we would hope to propose guidance on extrapolation for UPOV working parties to consider. We will update the software and release a new version of Dust. We will also propose updated text for TGP 8. Thank you for your attention.